welcome, folks, to another exciting edition of the Michigan Panthers, or not Michigan Panthers, the Picks Podcast, Panthers Picks Podcast. A couple more for the people. To be clear, this is the gambling episode. I am FBI Tugboat.
You ever made out with a tugboat?
Your host here for the Panthers Picks Podcast to talk about
the numbers, basically. What do they mean?
What do they mean? The numbers. If you are, get ready for some action because
You're in the jungle now, baby.
there you go. I keep forgetting to do that one. Before we hop on into it, if you are underage, live in a state where sports gambling is illegal, or planning on gambling intoxicated or the funds that you cannot manage to lose, then you can get out. There you go. Let's go ahead and get on into it. Taking a look using DraftKings lines, of course. It seems like the hands down the most universal or nationwide book that people are taking. Obviously, also they have their lines up pretty early. Recap: last week we are overall 3-3. Son of a bitch. 3-3. Made it 2-1 for week one. Missed the over on one of those games. Can't exactly remember. There's only been, I think, only 1 out of 8 games so far has gone over. One week, 1 game went over. 3 of them went under. Then all 4 unders in week 2 hit. So, if you took that, good job. They talked about it constantly on the broadcast with Aaron. I can't remember her last name. The chick that they brought in to talk gambling, which I think I think she's doing a great job. She's also not really doing that much more than just reading off stats and stuff like that, reading off numbers. I understand the UFL wants people get involved. You can tell she knows her chops a little bit. Or not a little bit. You can tell that she knows what she's talking about. I wish she'd get a little bit more into it and why some of the things that she's saying are better. Or honestly, what I really wish is that they would just do a 10-minute gambling segment before and then maybe reference it a couple of times and then maybe have her talk for a couple of minutes at halftime or something like this. Just the way that they're doing, and that's not what they're doing that I have a problem with. It's kind of like the way that they're doing it, like a little bit. Anyway, last week took Birmingham, Michigan under 38.5. That hit. I think there was 35 or 33 total points. Missed Arlington minus 8.5. That's the lock that I was giving out. Missed Brahma St. Louis over 37.5. That ended decently close as well, like a touchdown difference or something like that. And once again, unders hitting at a rate of 1 for 8, or 1 and 7, 8 total, obviously. Let's go ahead, hop on into it, and the. I know I didn't say it, but.
What do they mean?
Let's take a look. Okay, starting off on Friday. The Stallions home game laying 3.5 right there. Field goal plus a hook. Total is the largest, which makes sense for these two teams at 39.5. Don't get much on the Stallions winning minus 175. Double up plus some if the Arlington Renegades take this one down. But folks, backing away with my hands in the air in this one. Who are the Arlington Renegades? I don't know. Who are the Birmingham Stallions now that Matt Corral is going to be quarterback there? I don't know. Every other team, we have multiple weeks of performances to kind of evaluate and stuff like this. The Arlington Renegades, their week 1 victory. Wait, they played San Antonio. Week 1 UFL scores 2025. Yeah, so they played the Brahmas right here, and then played and blew them out, right? Again, that's the only game that went over. This was 38.5, went under. This was 39.5, went under. This was mid-30s, and that obviously only went to 29. And then nothing here hits over. That should have. I did not take that game, but I felt it in my soul. This should have been this is 7.5 points. This should have been a 20-12 game right there. Whatever. Actually, now that I look at that, so it's kind of like this. So I thought Arlington was the real deal coming into this because they put down the Brahmas so definitively, right? It was a 24-point difference right there, which is obviously 3 scores even within the UFL and their extra scoring and whatnot. But then they come in and they beat hands down the worst team in the league by 2 points. The closest victory of any. Week 1 was a 7-point differential. Look at this, 25. 14. Like none of these are really close to outside of that Stallions defenders game, which was really really good. And then you come in here like a 5-point differential, 2-point differential, 9. This is obviously a little bit of a blowout here. So Arlington just doesn't look anywhere near as good as what we thought they were. Honestly, I think this I have my best locks over here and I'll talk about them. But I was going to avoid this game completely. We'll revisit this. Because that 3.5 right there is looking is looking pretty sexy. Moving on along here. Memphis Showboats hosting Houston Roughnecks for a USFL conference matchup here. Lowest total all on the board here at 35.5. Makes sense. Both of these, the Memphis's offense is worse than their defense, and the Houston Roughnecks both sides of the ball is just not super great. Honestly, this is one of my locks. Is the auto fade. The Houston Roughnecks will be on auto fade just like they were in week 1, just like they were in week 2. Yes, I missed it in week number 2. Whatever. Right? They will be on auto fade for a while. Lock number 1 of these picks, of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Of these 32 picks or whatever, it will be the Memphis Showboats headed by EJ Perry. Excuse me, not DJ Perry. Not sure what I was thinking about there. EJ Perry, who actually showed a little bit of life. Honestly, this is they have good. They have a decent running back. They have a good wide receiver core and a good tight end there for Memphis. I again auto fade on the Houston Roughnecks until further notice. That is lock numero uno. I'll put them right here so you guys can actually track them instead of me constantly just fucking. And now, to be clear, this is not a parlay. I'm just putting the locks right on in here. Not touching this total here. Although, as other people, everybody in the UFM did this. I think we took like $5, something. You know, tiny bits of cash that nobody's gonna miss, and put them on all unders this week. They hit 4 for 0 last week. Why not? Why not? Honestly, the only one that really might bother me is this one or this one because the Battlehawks have shown that they're probably the best team in the league, hands down right now. So lock number 1, Memphis Showboats by a touch and a hook, or a touch and a point and a hook, blah, blah, whatever. Minus 4.5 right there. That will be Saturday, 11:30. Shout out to, like, 11:30 starts. It's 2:30 on the East Coast. What's wrong with that? Like, I think we can all get behind an 11:30 start. Well, moving on along here to 9 a.m. on Sunday. This is, again, this is kind of like, well, who are these two teams, right? Who are these two teams? San Antonio Brahmas just let go of their offensive coordinator, right? You know, the defense is going to stay strong. Michigan Panthers have shown that they have a fantastic quarterback in Bryce Perkins, possibly the best in the entire league, and then another quarterback named Danny Etling, who is a player. He is a football player. That is for sure. That is an undeniable fact, right? I think by the way that I'm presenting this kind of shows you guys what exactly it is that I kind of feel like between these two teams. But the San Antonio Brahmas just straight up, I mean, the point spread here reflecting it. Plus 5.5 right here. Michigan minus 5.5 at home as well. This doesn't feel like the same advantage that it was last week, but still, I've learned my lesson until I get to watch this game all the way through. Not really messing with this. Let's shake it on over to the total because under 36.5 will be lock number 2 here for the week. Offensive coordinator gone from the Brahmas. We don't even know. And honestly, this is of the 3 locks, I'll get into it, that I probably feel worse about because we don't know are the Panthers going to come out here, and they've been working all week with their new offensive guard and no Marcus Sims and no Breland Speaks to go forth and play Perkins like the entire time, in which case I feel like he could get 20 of these points himself. I don't know. I would actually maybe wait until a little bit closer to game time here to take this because with such a low number, I could see people taking the over. But then also, if it gets announced that Bryce Perkins is going to play, I could see this is going to start play the entire time. Outside of injuries or something like that, I could see that hopping up to like 38.5 or something. So maybe wait on this one. I don't see it going much. I don't see it going lower than 35.5. Maybe wait on this one until like Saturday night, maybe Sunday morning if you're up early or something like this. But I do feel good about this. We're losing a star wide receiver. They're losing their offensive coordinator. The San Antonio Brahmas defense is what kept them alive last year. Our defensive line is probably the best in the league so far. Even after losing Breland Speaks. Lock for a reason. Okay. Moving on along here to later on Sunday, 3 hours later. I'll be getting to watch all 3 of these with my brother, or both of these with my brother. He's coming into town. Very, very excited for that. Not be casting at all this weekend after Friday. After Friday night, not casting literally anything at all. This is going to be my time. Very, very excited for it, honestly. Oh yeah, DC Defenders, St. Louis Battlehawks. 2 best games of this slate are the first and last, hands down. This will be a question of will the the high-powered Arlington's offense be able to topple the defense here? Will Matt Corral be able to put up more points than the Spring King himself? Honestly, I'm feeling like it. This is feeling better and better. If you're I'm not gonna lock it, but if you're liking it, I would take this soon because that's probably gonna get higher. Sorry, I keep jumping around here. We're try and keep this under 15 minutes. We're at 10 minutes right now. DC Defenders and the St. Louis Battlehawks. DC's offense was this may be of the teams that have kept the same personnel, right? Abram Smith did great last week. Deion Jackson also did fan-freaking-tastic last week. Would love to see him on the Michigan Panthers. Offense has looked great. Defense, about average, I'd say. But the St. Louis Battlehawks, their offense has looked great. Manny Wilkins is mobile. Can sling the ball out there. I believe they're getting Hakeem Butler back. I need to figure this out. Oh, that's pretty cool. Ah, you son of a bitch. Whatever. You know what? UFL Communications, Twitter, bang. I almost typed Marcus Sims, Hakeem Butler. That's not what I needed. That's not what I need either. Okay. Just look at this. Injury report. That's what I was looking for. There you go. Thank you. Tuesday. And they're not on here. Oh yeah, duh, because they're not going to release it before. So we'll know if Hakeem Butler is playing or not. That's probably a reason to wait. I'm filming this Wednesday the 9th. There's probably a reason to wait a little bit. But if this drops to -6.5, Hakeem Butler or not, again, reason this is going to be lock number 3. This is the game that I feel worst about for playing the over of that like $5 parlay, so like 5 to win 50 or something like that. For the unders parlay across all these. Of all of these, this one could bust it. And then just again, like who shows up here? So not locking any unders for the first or fourth game, but those two are the ones that we just threw $5 for like a fun UFM parlay and stuff. If you want to join in, obviously saying that chirp up in the comments and thank me for making you some money, or tell me that I'm an idiot who doesn't know what I'm talking about, right? But yes, lock number 3 here, St. Louis Battlehawks. They're going to be on possible auto lock out until they hit double digits, right? Until they hit 10 points, which is obviously more than a single score within the UFL. Maybe until further notice. Like Jordan Teamo just looked either so on point, like locked in, like that last 3 minutes of that DC game last week, right? Or they just looked absolutely lost. The over should have hit last week with DC and the Memphis Showboats. There was 3 I said this on the Michigan Panthers podcast, but there's 3 different passes that I can think of. 2 of them would have been 100 outside of a turnover, them falling down or breaking a leg or something like this. They would have been turned around, they would have run some yardage, and they would have gotten us 6 points. Period in the story. No questions about no questions about that. You can talk about extra points and other stuff after that and how that would have changed the game, whatever, in a different conversation. 100%. There was a third one that they would have caught and would have immediately gotten them into scoring territory, into the red zone, into that sub 20 yards or something like that, which, again, barring a turnover or something like that, would have at least yielded another 3 points, which would have led to DC covering last week, right? This is just I just don't feel like this is enough points, really. A single score here, and I'm not talking about a last minute field goal from St. Louis to take this one down. Again, I'd say wait until the Hakeem Butler news maybe to take this one. But yeah, I just don't see DC's defense keeping down Manny Wilkins and the rest of them. Like there's just going to be a simple, it's just going to be a simple matter of 60 minutes, and St. Louis is going to have more scoring opportunities. They're going to get in them more, and DC is just going to be left playing catch up for most of that game. So 3 locks here. Memphis Showboats -4.5. I would take this. If you're going to take it, I would take it sooner than later. They're at home as well, and everybody bets against the Houston Roughnecks. I believe this opened at 3.5. Under 36.5. I might wait a little bit. I don't see this going farther than under 35.5. But maybe wait like a little bit, as well as the St. Louis Battlehawks. But wait for the St. Louis Battlehawks though for the Hakeem Butler news. If he's playing 100%. Yes, he got shut down in week number 1 by the Houston Roughnecks, which is the worst team in the league. Yes, he is a fantastically talented individual in the great game of college football, of UFL, the United Football League, within spring football. Right, 3 locks. Memphis Showboats -4.5. Under 36.5 for the San Antonio Brahmas and Michigan Panthers. Brahmas, who just lost their OC. Michigan Panthers just lost their wide receiver 1, traded away their wide receiver 1, for an offensive lineman, and also but did lose our defensive players. So maybe the Breland Speaks, and maybe that affects it. I still feel pretty good about this one. And St. Louis Battlehawks. Those are the 3 picks. Let's go ahead and bang, 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 bang. There you go. I am FBI Tugboat. I have been working with the United Football Media Group. Here they are. We got we have somebody covering every single team of these 8 teams within the UFL. You can check out Tell Me About It with Arik and Tay and everybody else. More of like a talk show. A lot of people come out of that one. The Defending Football Show, a little bit of short form content with Jay. The Brahmas Bullpen, Josh over there, also making content with the Caballeros, the Arena Football Squad. We got the Roughnecks Rundown Ace doing the Lord's work. Doing the Lord's work there and covering CJ Johnson's team. Not sure if I could say the same. We got the Defending Football Show with Arik and Tay, and that is more obviously DC centralized. We got Captain's Log, Captain My Captain, with Brandon over there running it down for the Memphis Showboats, and of course here, Michigan Panthers podcast. Like, subscribe, all that fun shit, and I will catch you guys on the flip side.